So today I'm here for a book haul video, which I haven't done in so long. I have accumulated a few books in recent times that I would like to show you. So I guess we'll get straight into it. The first four books that I have here are books that I got when I went to Melbourne last year for the Van Gogh exhibition. So of course, after I finished with the exhibition, I did pick up Van Gogh's Ear by Bernadette Murphy. I have no idea how accurate this is. I did want to get some sort of biography of Vincent van Gogh because he's one of my favorite artists and he has a very tragic story. I just wanted to learn more about him and I bought this book. I've yet to read it, but I'm glad I have it, so then sometime soon I can read it. But this was one of the books that I bought during my trip to Melbourne. The next one I got was Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka, and I bought this, I forgot which store it was. I forgot the name of the store I bought it, but I'll definitely link it down below of where I got it from. It was a really cute store. It was pretty small, but it definitely had its character. I really wanted to read Metamorphosis for a long time. I have finished that part of the story within this book and it was weird. It was a little tragic. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm a bit like, it's an average rating for me, but I'm still in the process of finishing the other stories, so we'll see how I feel about the overall collection, but this was one of the books that I got during my trip. The next one, interestingly, is a science fiction book, classic science fiction by a Cuban author, which is so unique. I've never read anything by a Cuban author before. It's been translated though from Spanish, and I'm just curious to see how well the translation is. But this is A Legend of the Future by Agustín de Rojas. Yeah, I might have butchered his name, but I was pretty much drawn to it because of the cover, because it's so vibrant and colorful. When I picked it off the shelf and kind of read about it, I was like, whoa, this sounds pretty intense. I'm still not entirely sure what it's about. It's very vague on the synopsis, but it's a science fiction book and that's all I need to know. And usually when I read science fiction books, it's by American authors. It would be really interesting to read from an author from a different culture. I definitely think this one has a lot of potential. Yeah, I'm excited to actually read this one. So the next one I think is something that you guys all know. It's Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and I've actually never read this book. For the longest time I kept wanting to read it, but I never got the chance and I never had a physical copy of it. I bought both The Legend of the Future and this book at a bookstore called Hill of Content, but this one I mainly got because of the cover. I do really like this edition. If I was gonna buy Fahrenheit 451, I did want this edition of it, and I saw it there at the shop and I was like, why not? I mean, this year might be the year that I read it, and this is the 60th anniversary edition, hence the beautiful cover art. The quality of the book is really good. I love everything about it. Hopefully I like the story just as much. This is on my list of things to read this year, so definitely excited for this one. The most recent purchase is Frenchmans Creek by Daphne de Maurier. I have never read anything by her. I'm aware that she writes a lot of gothic romance books and she has kind of like a dark, gloomy kind of tone to her stories. However, I think this one is a bit more lighthearted and adventure-like compared to other books. And this one isn't too thick, it's quite thin and it just sounds more up my alley. But to be honest, it was cheap on Booktapper, so I was thinking of buying Rebecca or My Cousin Rachel, but this one came up and it was like super cheap, so I just decided to get this one instead. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, if I do like her writing style and everything, I could get into her other books, hopefully. The next thing I have is The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick, and this one is a book that I've been meaning to read for so long. It just sounds Super intriguing, very unique concept. It's basically set 15 years after World War II. In this universe, the Japanese and the Germans won World War II, so it's basically kind of set in what we know as America, but it's split into the different kind of regions that are owned by Germans and the Japanese. It just feels like a really interesting and complex story, and I've actually never read anything by Philip K. Dick. I know some people think some of his stuff is a bit dreary and, you know, boring, but I'm really intrigued. I feel like Philip K. Dick has very complex and unique kind of plot lines to his story, and this one specifically really gets me intrigued, and it helps that I really want to watch the TV show adaptation of it, but I swear I will not watch that until I finish this book, pretty much, and I'm really excited. It is again a classic, but it's short. It's like a shorter classic, so hopefully I can get into it sometime soon, and I really hope I do like it. In the year of 2017, I did delve into some poetry, and by poetry I mean I read one collection, and that was Milk and Honey, and to be honest, that was a very average poetry collection for me. Like, I don't know why it became so popular, but I was kind of a little let down because there was so much hype and I thought I would really love it. I mean, there were some poems in there that I did like, but there were some that I was just like, what is this? But anyhow, moving on. I did make 2 poetry book purchases. This one is Dirty Pretty Things by Michael Faudet. Wait, did I say that right? And the other one I have is Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Peppernell. I guess I don't have much to say about these. They're 2 poetry collections, and I just want to get into more poetry. I don't know. Man, oh man, did I love It. The new adaptation of It. It was phenomenal. You know what? I enjoyed it so much. I went to the theaters twice to see it, and usually I'm a bit of a cheapskate when it comes to paying for my tickets to go see a movie at the theaters. I'm very specific on certain movies that I watch at the theaters because it is a bit pricey to go, and I was blown away. I mean, it was everything I loved. Of course, there might have been some minor flaws, but overall it just surpassed all my expectations. I loved it. It is a horror movie, but still, to me, it wasn't like severely scary. It was more like an adventure, fun kind of horror. I don't know how you can explain horror in that sort of way, but it was. It was a mixture of genres, and I really enjoyed it. So it's no surprise that I did buy Stephen King's It. It is massive. I do not know how I'm gonna go through this. It may take months, but I am prepared. I am prepared because I'm so excited. And I'm pretty sure chapter 2 isn't even going to be released this year. Chapter 2 meaning the sequel to the movie adaptation. I definitely do want to tackle this one sometime this year. So by the time next year rolls in, I'll be ready to watch chapter 2. I have not read much of Stephen King. The one I started was a collection of his shorter stories, and they were really good. I still need to finish the book that I bought. Why is that not in this haul? I forgot to bring it. The first 2 I read in that collection, The Mangler and 1984? Is it 19? No, 1408. 1408, I think. I think that's the title of it. But those 2 short stories are really good. I really enjoyed them. So I'm hoping that I really do enjoy his like full-length novels. I do want to read more of Stephen King in the future. So yeah. Garth Nyx has the most chill and bomb personality. I mean, I've had the chance to meet him, see him on like book panels, and he just seems like a really cool guy. So I did pick up Frogkisser by him. I went to one of his book event. He read an excerpt from the Frogkisser, and it was very cute. It very much has a very whimsical, magical, random vibe to it. For a while I didn't purchase it, but then in the end I like caved. I was like, you know what, it sounds really cute, really want to get it, so I got it. I did read his other middle grade book. I think this is middle grade. I did read his other I suppose it was middle grade or YA, standalone book called Newt's Emerald. I did like it, but I wasn't super in love with it. I'm hoping that this one leaves a better impression. Really hoping that I like this one more than Newt's Emerald. So then if I really do like it, I'll be more excited to start Sabriel. Even though regardless of how I feel about this book, I'll start Sabriel anyway. I've been meaning to start that series so long. But yeah, Frogkisser. Sounds cute. There's not much more to say to it. I still need to read the Mistborn trilogy from Brandon Sanderson. But, you know, as you do, I just keep buying his books. It's no surprise, I have Wallbreaker. Now this cover is something else. I don't know if I'm to like it or if I'm to hate it. I do really love like the picture of the woman with the rainbow thing going on, but this font, man, this font, I can't. Like why did I get this version of it? Sometimes wonder. And it's super, like, it's heavy, it's a hardback. Why did I do this to myself? I think it was cheaper. Was it cheaper? I can't even remember. But yeah, Wallbreaker. I thought this was going to be a standalone, but apparently they're making a sequel to this. Did he already write a sequel to Wallbreaker? I don't even know, but I think this just has a very interesting magic system that uses light as a hierarchy. Wait, I might be explaining a different book right now. It sounds very similar to Shades of Grey. I think this has a similar magic system. I just thought, you know, it's a Brandon Sanderson book, it's a standalone. I heard some good things about this one, so I just bought it. Even though I have other books by Brandon Sanderson that I haven't read yet. Those are it. Those are all the books that I've hauled recently that are not YA. I actually have another book haul coming that just features YA books. So look out for that one soon. But I hope you enjoyed. This was long and slightly tedious, but if you're watching all the way through, I congratulate you. Thank you. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!